This is WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
With beauty unsurpassed, strength immeasurable, and grace unlike any other, still remains humble enough to carry a man upon its back. When a service member or first responder takes an oath, he or she has mentally and physically committed themselves with self-sacrifice. From the front lines abroad to the very streets you live on in America, they protect. This oath is non-refundable and it is lifelong. Facing unimaginable dangers and unseen scars, these grounds are a place to recover and face any challenges head-on. As veterans and first responders ourselves, we know that battle all too well. From a simple talk with a friend on horseback to an entire debrief in the barn, this sanctuary has seen recovery take place time and time again. No hour of life is wasted that is spent in a saddle. The way we approach change isn't a new phenomenon. This animal has been with humans over 5,000 years. If you've ever been around a horse for long enough, you'll feel that thing, that electric trust. In that moment, nothing else is in your mind. When they turn into you, it's like the world disappears. We harness that moment to build skills off of. Repurposing requires flexibility, adaptability, and the willingness to challenge assumptions and conventional thinking. This approach can be applied to many areas in life, including business, education, and personal growth. To ride a horse is to fly without wings. This lesson and skills learned at war horses will help reintegrate back into daily life. You'll learn coping mechanisms, improve communication skills, trust and confidence that will help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These tools can be used every day to navigate life and take on many challenges. This may involve practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, improving communication with loved ones. Transitioning back to society is hard on your own. And when you're at war horses, you're family. And families solve problems together.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I can feel this in my ears. What is happening?
The voice of U.S. Army WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. It is time for Friday Night Freedom. My name is KOZ. Up there in the bubble of excellence is Pooky. What's going on, everybody? How's it going, Pooky?
Hey, same old.
Same old. Oh, man, we're doing great here at WTF Nation Radio. We are the voice of U.S. Army WTF Moments, and we're here to hopefully entertain you a little bit. It's been kind of a busy week, kind of a sad day, man. I wanted to start this off just a little bit, just as a mention. Oh gosh, this is kind of sad news. Carl Weathers has passed. He was 76 years old, and there's a lot to say about Carl. He was loved by so many. I just wanted to mention his passing. I can't read my own writing. I actually wrote this analog here. He was loved by so many. I just wanted to mention his passing. He was such a star both in the pop culture world and in the sports world. So I'll let actual King Smith, Coach, and CQ fight over the eulogy. So yeah, Carl Weathers, man, he's done a lot in his life, man. He's educated, and he's also done a lot. So rest in peace, Chubbs. Yeah, there's a lot more to Carl Weathers than Chubbs, man. I mean, Rocky and just the Mandalorian. I mean,
yes.
Later on in life, The Mandalorian was the last thing that he did. He's done TV, and he's done so much, and both in the pop culture world and in the sports world that I learned today. I had no idea. So yeah, man. Rest in peace, sir. Oh, Richard Branco says hi. He says, hello, beautiful. I think he's talking about you, though.
I hope not.
So today is the 2nd day of February, 2024. And I don't know, man. And I think we talked about this last week. Even with January having 31 days in it, it kind of flew by for me. It didn't seem like it was a long 31-day month. And I'm happy we're still here. Everybody almost died today. You probably didn't know it. At 9:36 a.m. Eastern Time, an asteroid labeled as a potentially hazardous asteroid passed by the Earth at a distance of 1.7 million miles at the speed of Mach 53.4, or 41,000 miles per hour. It was as big as the Empire State Building in New York. The next time it comes around is going to be 2032, and it's going to be 45 million miles away from Earth. But yeah, I guess in space terms, that's 1.7 million miles is pretty close. So that's cool. There's if you go to some of the there's an Italian observatory that actually videoed the passing of the asteroid, and it's cool, man. That thing's hauling ass. So that's kind of pretty cool. So we've got stuff and things happening. False spring is occurring. I haven't been normally I spend a lot of time with looking at the weather, watching weather patterns, looking how the weather is, where my kids are, where my parents are, where my relatives are and stuff. And I've just been amazed at the mild winter that we've had here in Texas. So I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm fairly certain that winter is over in Texas. Our winter lasted a total of about 90 hours, and it spanned from January 13th to January 17th, and our temperatures dropped into the single digits. Yes, it was cold. I even dug out my heavy Carhartt jacket, but since then it's been pretty pleasant, even hot on some days. Our highs have been in the low to mid 70s and the lows in the 40s. The meteorological calendar has the same pattern, staying put well into the month of March. So last year at this time, I left work, and I should have put a picture on here, but I left work 1 year ago today with a half an inch of ice on my car and on the road. It took me 3 hours to drive 25 miles home. Oh, well, I guess I'll take it. So here's a picture. I couldn't find a really good picture, but today is Groundhog Day. So it appears the rodent of Gobbler's Knob, Pennsylvania, didn't see his shadow today, so we're going to have an early spring, according to Punxsutawney Phil. So I don't know how. Let me see. Branko, you're on the East Coast. Are you guys having a bad winter, or has it been pretty mild, or what, man? I have no idea. What about you? You were kind of cold for a little bit, but then you bounced back.
That's what got me sick as hell. Is it went from like the 30s. Like borderline 20s, and then jumped up to 80, and then I got sick because screw the weather around here.
Yeah, it was nuts. We had one day that was like 78, and then, but it's been down in the mid 70s, I guess, for highs. Today's did I say that wrong? Isn't it Gobbler's Knob?
I think that's. I've been to Punxsutawney like twice in my life, so Gobbler's Knob, Punxsutawney. That's such a weird little town out in the middle of Pennsylvania somewhere.
And they've got they got weird names for stuff down there anywhere. Anyway, it does sound funny. When I lived in Indiana, there was a place. I used to live in a town called New Albany, Indiana. And nearby, one of the nearby towns, I was like 5, so I may get this wrong, but there was a town nearby called Floyd's Knobs, And me and my brothers used to just laugh about it. It was just funny to us.
Pennsylvania, they got a place called Blue Knob. They got a place called Intercourse.
Well, yeah, in North Carolina, there's a place called, a friend of mine used to live up there. He still does, but he lived in Climax.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd ask him, I'd say, hey, where are you from? He goes, oh, I'm from Climax, North Carolina. I said, where is that from? Where is that in the state? He goes, oh, it's just down the road from High Point. So that's just funny because everybody, you know, guys, especially guys in the military, we're all like between 8 and 12 years old.
Never grow up.
No, even after we're out, we're still about between French Lick, Indiana. So we got this year's football finales coming up. You excited about that?
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Yay, Taylor Swift. Nah, it's just I don't want to take sports bars fire away from them. They're going to talk the shit out of this stuff, but I guess this is the football finale is going to be between the 49ers and Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team. I kind of wanted the Lions to be there, so it would be like Taylor Swift versus Eminem Bowl.
Yeah.
So I know that Usher is he's scheduled to be the halftime show, but in my head, I had this all worked out. I saw an impromptu rap battle between Eminem and Taylor on the 50-yard line. It was going to be awesome. It was awesome in my head. And if you think that Taylor doesn't rap, she has, if you look on YouTube, she has videos where she's all dolled up and she's like in black leather and shit and she's rapping and she doesn't suck that bad. It's just funny.
Is it better than Ben Shapiro?
I haven't seen the Ben Shapiro. What's his name? McDonald? What's his something McDonald?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Matt. Yeah.
With all the tattoos on his face and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I think it might be cringe just because I know who Ben Shapiro is. I like to listen to him, but I've got to slow his shit down. Because he talks so amazingly high-pitched and fast. I can't. I've got to rewatch everything twice just to catch him. But man, there's a lot of people hating on Taylor Swift and Travis. Why? I mean, why?
Because it's the next album.
But it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's okay. Travis Kelce, who is a pretty good football player, shot his shot and got a date with Taylor Swift. I'm not jealous. I'm jealous. It's just, I'm not mad. I'm just jealous, I guess. He's a successful dude. She is like the most successful pop star ever. Rich beyond, she has more money than God. So, it's not their fault that when she shows up to a game, the media is there with their cameras not on the field, but on the box, looking for Taylor.
She had 30, 40 seconds. That's someone said they calculated the amount of time that they were focused on Taylor, and they're the amount of advertisement that they could have pulled off of that was millions upon millions of dollars. And I'm like, all right, cool. Little Tay-Tay up there doing her little Tay-Tay thing, and
she's excited. I mean, shit. Man. She's into it, and she impressed the dad, Travis's dad. I mean, because I guess the first game where she showed up, she was helping people, or not helping people. She was picking up shit. She was cleaning it. She wasn't even Travis Kelce's dad was just the pop star didn't follow her there because she was up there, cleaning up messes, and it's just cool. It's cool. And
who,
to hell with everybody else. Who?
Who Meat Cannon? He's an animator. He's just an animator, YouTube animator. But no. He did a whole skit with her and him. And he said, it's not that big of a deal. And all of a sudden you hear like a velociraptor screaming. And it's all the Taylor Swiftie, the Swiftie fans going, he said that he's gonna bring.
No, I need to look this up. Guess what I'm doing after the show tonight, folks.
It is funny as shit. Meat Cannon is on point with some of his shit.
That's funny, man.
Little extreme. not as bad as that weird gopher dance thing that you posted earlier today in the team chat. I already seen that like 3-4 years ago, but yeah, that's end of internet kind of shit.
Yeah, right. So yeah, so I think this is a map that I found of like who gives a shit about what during the Super Bowl. So you got Kansas City, Kansas, or you got Kansas and Missouri that care about Kansas winning, and you got the northern half of California that cares about the 49ers, and the rest of the world or the rest of the states are like, can they both lose? I don't care. I don't care. I think it might have been a better contest.
For the Lions.
I was rooting for the Lions. They gave it up, man. That's bad coaching right there, I think. Bad call. I'm sorry, not bad coaching. Bad call.
They've never won a Super Bowl, so I was like, "Let's go Lions! Win a Super Bowl! Fuck all these other motherfuckers."
You don't even have to win it. Just go there. Go there without having to buy tickets. But yeah, that was a bad play calling, I guess, on behalf of the coach. But you gotta make a decision, and you got to make a decision. Meat Cannon. Yes, Meat Cannon.
Yeah, it is a YouTube animator, Meat Cannon, and his shit is between a fever dream and epicness. This is the best way I can put it.
I'm definitely... we're going to call the show right now. I'm going to go watch some Meat Cannon videos. No, but it's the Swifties against the Niners. And it's true what they say in the news, man. You got a bunch of kids... little girls that are interested in watching football games with Kansas City, and they're just on the off chance that they get to see Taylor Swift. That's pretty cool. My niece is one of them.
If she don't was it photobomb? I guess I don't know the proper term for it. It's like she just appears during the middle of the halftime show. Then yeah, screw it. It's not worth it at that point. Huh?
No, she's got a show in Japan like the day before or 2 days before, so it's going to be racing to get back. So the last of 4 scheduled Tokyo shows is on February 10th. Due to time zone differences, if she flies out at midnight, it'll be 7 a.m. Saturday in Las Vegas. Granted, if she doesn't get delayed. She could still make the 11 or 12-hour flight to Las Vegas and arrive a day before the game after hosting 4 rigorous shows and crossing 9 time zones. However, she better have a parking spot to park her plane. This is the thing that might not get her there, is all the facilities there in and around Las Vegas are full. There's nowhere for her to park her plane. So that would be the only thing that would keep her from flying in to the Vegas show. But as resourceful as she is, she can fly into a nearby city and drive. I think she can handle this. This is a logistics snafu that I think that she can overcome. So I would count on, unless there's a major delay weather-wise or something like that, I think Taylor's going to be at the Super Bowl. Can we say Super Bowl? I think last year we tried to say Super Bowl. And
yeah.
Superb owl. It's a superb owl.
Commercial bowl.
Holly says, I think these two are all show. I don't know, man. I'm convinced. I think it's cool, man. It's cute. And I'm happy that she's found somebody that hasn't fucked her up or done something to.
Holly might be right. It's NFL hurting so bad that they need to bring.
There is a level of there is a severe level of believability to that, though, Holly. But I'm happy for them.
NFL sucks so bad now that they got to bring Taylor Swift in to say.
But then you got the Packer the Packer dude and Simone Biles. I mean, but she's not Taylor Swift. She doesn't have that level of popularity. I hold out hope for love, man. I hold out hope for like the underdog, because Travis Kelce just kind of hit her up and just says, hey, I went to your show and you rocked the stadium, and I want you to come and see me rock the stadium too. And then she ended up fucking showing up.
I'm just waiting for the next album to come out. That's all I'm waiting for.
But what I'm waiting for is if he pisses her off, the songs that she'll write about him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The next Taylor Swift album is going to be fire.
She's super successful. He's getting ready to retire too. I mean, he's going to be doing his thing, whether it's coaching or commentating or.
Well, he better put a ring on it.
No shit. He better put a ring on that. So, God damn it! I don't want to go sports, but Brady's going to be in the announcer's box. He's going to be doing commentating.
Brady should be coaching, in my opinion.
Right.
He should be coaching.
That surprises me. If not NFL, I mean, he should be coaching college.
College.
Go to Michigan and start coaching.
It don't matter. He needs to be a coach.
He doesn't have to be the head coach. He doesn't have to be just the offensive coordinator or something like that.
The whole Patriots thing proved it. Like Belichick and him, blah blah blah. We're getting into the shit. Oh, this is sports bar shit we're talking about right now, and we shouldn't even be talking about it.
Unintentionally sports bar stuff. Sorry, guys.
But when he left for Tampa and won the Super Bowl, it proved something. And Belichick can't handle Brady held that team together, and Brady needs to be a fucking coach.
Dude, and fucking Belichick is like unemployed right now.
Well, he's got millions of dollars. It don't matter.
Yeah, he's not hurt or anything, but he was on the short list for coach for somewhere. But they ended up going with someone else.
Hey, I'll be a coach. Shit.
I'll be a coach. Yeah, we're gonna suck. Go that way.
Yeah, I mean, just do your thing. Hey, quarterback, you know what you're doing? Do it.
What was that one movie? It's like, well, how do you do this? And he goes, well, you go that way really, really fast. If something gets in your way, turn. I forget what that was. Holly says, Taylor is a reason to not watch. I already quit paying all celebrities any mind. Oh yeah, I don't give them the time of day in their decisions. I mean, like right now, she showed up with a Joe Biden cookies or something like that. Biden 2024. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was a part of my kids' upbringing, so I kind of got my kids like Taylor Swift. This is back when my 24-year-olds, 26-year-olds were 10-year-olds. When Taylor Swift was just peaking in country, and then she was kind of tipping her toe into the pop genre. That's when my kids said, "Oh, Dad, look at Taylor Swift!" And every time we drove around, it was put in Taylor Swift. They graduated from all the Disney CDs I had in my minivan. Yes, I drove a minivan back then. But I learned to like her. She's very likable. Her music is good. Her lyrics are fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm a fan. I'm not I'm not spending thousands of dollars to go and see her at the American Airlines Center. Fucking 4 sold out shows in a row here. That was awesome. Anyway, so what season are we in right now? So it's not Christmas. It's not.
No.
It's not. I guess Valentine's Day isn't really a season. It's a holiday. There's no real season for that.
Yeah, it's the ick season.
So I guess the only thing left is tax season. It's not your favorite. It's not your favorite season.
Yeah. I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold on.
I know what you're doing. Let me put you on. Put you on the. Oh God damn it! Where's Big Pookie at? Here's Big Pookie. There it is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is tax season. IRS finally opened up their inbox for people to start submitting their tax forms on this last Monday. So yeah, tax season. I mean, you gotta take the bad with the good, I suppose. As John Grape says, It's best not to bet against Taylor Swift or the Chiefs during the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, personally, and this is from a non-sports guy, I think the Niners are probably a better team. And I can't quote stats. It's just I've seen 49ers play this year. I've seen Kansas City play. Kansas City does a lot of good stuff early on. A lot of stuff early on, but then they fade. 49ers are kind of opposite. They kind of start slow, like the Cowboys do, and then they finish strong, usually. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be the Niners. It'll be a close game, like a 27-24. But
I've got a tinfoil kind of hat conspiracy with the NFL of late.
Okay, what you got? What you got?
Nothing different than WWE at this point,
Huh?
It's like a wrestling. You know, everyone said wrestling was fake, blah blah blah, and I'm starting to feel as though the NFL is like that nowadays.
Yeah.
It's hard for y'all to believe that though, but
it's not hard. It's not hard for me to believe it. It's just it's hard for me to be there in that camp 100%. I'm like 80% there. Because you see weird stuff happen and you're just like, you're like,
But the officials call some bullshit that you like blatantly see like, hey, that was okay. Yeah.
I think what they need, and not to get into the sports bar stuff, but they ought to have like referees for the refs for the refs. Like in the review booth, if a ref misses a call, like completely blows it bad, he can get overruled by someone on the bench or someone in the booth.
They have something like that. They call up to the commission, and if it's that big of a deal, the commission guys go, okay, well, blah blah blah. But
okay, Carl hit the locker room. We're going to bring in Steve over there.
Yeah,
you got like 2 or 3 backup referees just in case the one gets benched. Oh, dude, I forgot to do a show roundup for the week.
I
gotta do that.
Once a week, once a day.
So we got 6. We got 6 shows. We do have 6 shows. We used to do just like 3 shows a week, like 3 scheduled shows a week. But
we're back in full blown again.
Kind of. Here's my graphic here. On Sunday we have the sports bar. Monday's usually the Monday edition, but Ice is out. Of course, I looked at the calendar. Ice is out for a little while. Tuesday's Pop Culture Warrior. He doesn't have a guest this week, but he's got one next week. Wednesday's the Smoke Pit, but Radar's out doing like professional soccer stuff. Thursday is Sergeant's Time again with Ice, but he's out. And then Friday is Friday Night Freedom, and when I do shows, I'm here, but I don't do a show this coming Friday. So we got 2 shows this week, man. We got Sports Bar on Sunday, and we've got Pop Culture Warrior on Tuesday. He's back from vacation. I did miss his show on Tuesday just because of work and stuff, but man, he's happy to be back. He was giving shit away on his first day back, man. So yeah. So that's that. Oh, and today back in 1964, 60 years ago, guess who was born?
No idea.
G.I. Joe.
The more you know.
G.I. Joe was born 60 years ago today. February 2nd, 1964.
G.I. Joe.
Can I do math? Was that right? 64? Yeah, 60 years. And I wasn't born yet. I'm not that old. I'm pretty damn close, but I'm not that old. That's why it was easy to do the math. Imagine if you had... Does anybody out there have like an original G.I. Joe still in the box?
I remember playing around with one as a kid.
I had one.
How valuable that thing would have been if it was stated. The little metal dog tag on it.
That's a big old dog tag, too. It takes up half his chest.
It was level 4 before level 4 was level 4.
So happy birthday, G.I. Joe. That was awesome, dude. I remember playing with him. I mean, because he was completely movable. It wasn't just like he wasn't just like a big lump of plastic. He had joints and stuff, and you can move them around and do stuff. I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't mean to take away from the fun of talking about G.I. Joe, but yes, it is tax season. Well, it's our least favorite time of year. Tax season is here. Since I've been divorced, my taxes have been pretty straightforward. This year is a little bit different. And I'm not talking about just taxes and shit, but it's just this year is different. Yesterday, and I'd like to get your view on this, I received two 1099 miscellaneous tax forms in the mail. Usually a 1099 miscellaneous form is for people who get income through rental properties, gas or oil leases, people who collect royalties on something, or contractors or freelancers who offer their services to others for money. All of that income is taxable, and the IRS wants their cut. Right or wrong, they want their cut. So of the two 1099s that I received, one of them was from Equifax, and the other one was from Experian. Yes, the credit reporting agencies.
I was about to say, what?
Yeah, okay. I've never done any work for either of these two agencies, and I've never received any money from either of them. But I've got 1099s saying that I earned money in 2023 from both of them. Then I remembered my credit card, or my credit report dispute that I had earlier this year, or last year. Remember that? Before I bought the house that I live in, I lived in an apartment. I broke the lease, and then I bought this house because they were upping my lease, or my rent. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm just going to buy a house. And this was before the housing boom and shit. So I got this house as a fixer-upper for kind of cheap. Anyway, the apartment never, when I left, I gave him my key and I said, here's money, whatever's left, send me a bill and we'll settle up. And they said, no, don't worry about it. Keep it. We'll just send you a bill for the whole thing, and then you can pay for it all at once. Bet. I'm out. Never went back there again. Like a year later, I get a letter from a collection agency saying that you owe almost twice what I should have owed. So I fought it, and I stopped, and I'm just like, I'm requesting information and proof that I owe this amount of money, and they just sent me a copy of my lease agreement, and then they added a bunch of money to it. So, I wrote them back, this is all certified communications, certified letters and shit. And then they finally sent me a bill that says, hey, just pay this amount and then we'll be done. And that was the amount that I thought that I owed anyway. So I paid that amount. All with bank checks and everything, I got receipts for everything. So
I know where they got you.
So that was over with. I paid what I thought I owed. Mm-hmm. They sent me a settlement letter. They said, hey, we can settle up for this amount. So I paid that amount. Of course, everything was done through certified mail. I got all the receipts.
God bless the IRS.
So they laid off for a while, and then like a year, 2 years down the road, I start getting, calls from a different collection agency saying that, no, you owe the other half of what we said you owed. And I'm just like, no, this is the agreed, I've got all the documentation, so I sent them a copy of all the documentation. They said, nope, the debt is still valid. So I said, okay, whatever. So I ended up hiring a lawyer to fight this for me, because it wasn't pro bono, but they didn't ask for any money up front. So I hired a lawyer. They took care of things. They reached a settlement, and a settlement happened. So I realized that after looking through the settlement documents, that both credit agencies had to, according to the settlement agreement, the credit agencies had to pay attorney fees and court costs, all payable to the lawyers that I hired to fight on my behalf. I never received a dime. KOZ never got a dime. I didn't want any money. I just wanted the derogatory information removed from my credit report, and I wanted my old apartment owners to leave me alone and to quit pestering me. So it would appear that I'm supposed to pay taxes on about $15,000 that the credit agencies had to pay the law firm. So I'm supposed to pay about $3,750.
Debt forgiveness is considered a form of income.
But it's not debt forgiveness because I paid
that's where the IRS is getting you right now.
I paid my debt, and this is a settlement, and the settlement never came to me. It went to the lawyers. It was never intended to be for me.
You're 100% in the right at this point, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just, at least you didn't get a Charlie. And the 1099 Charlies are the one you don't.
Oh, 1099 Charlies suck. And it's just like if you have student loan forgiveness, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get a 1099/something/S or whatever, like a /SL or -SL for student loan, and that gets counted as income. So if you got $100,000 in student loan debt and it gets forgiven, guess what?
Yes.
You just made an extra $100,000 that year.
That year, yeah. And you owe that money because it's considered income.
Yeah.
And yeah.
About $25,000 in taxes. What kind of lawyer? I hired a contract lawyer. A lawyer who was proficient in contracts. And they're out of Dallas. Never met him. Talked to him on the phone a couple times. Not even him. I talked to a paralegal twice on the phone, and all the rest of the communication was via email. And it was through the paralegal. She said, here's a settlement, read through it, let me know what you like, what you want to change or whatever. So I'd make changes, I'd redline it and send it back to her, and then she'd send it back to me. And I said, yes, this is acceptable to me. I signed the bottom of the document with, the PDF, whatever. I never left my house, man. I never met him in person. But, guess what? They got the credit agencies off my ass. They got the apartment off my ass, and all that derogatory information was erased like it had never existed off my credit report. It was awesome. They did a fantastic job. Took about 90 days. I actually forgot about it. After I said this is what I want, and then I let the dogs loose. It was like 90 days until I started hearing back. Like, hey, we've reached a settlement. This is what we have. Or is there anything you want to add or subtract? And I made my changes, and that was it. But they ended up having to pay about $15,000 to, in between the two credit agencies and the apartment. They had to pay the lawyers like $15,000, and I get to pay, according to the IRS or whatever, or according to Experian and the other one. I've got to pay taxes on that. That was like earned income for me that taxes was never withheld from. So, yeah. But I've got an idea, and I've looked at. I've talked to a lawyer who's not. It's a lawyer friend who says, "Here's what you can do." So I have to report that. I have to report that as income because I've got the form. The IRS has that form. They can't reconcile my tax return unless I address it. So I'm going to address it. I'm going to add it. But then when you add a 1099 miscellaneous, there's a spot there where you can itemize expenses. So you add the money, and then you subtract all of that money in expenses, and then there's a spot for you to explain what the expenses were. And when you explain those expenses, you just say that I never received any money from this, or there's a whole list of things that you can say. I was never contracted to work for these people, or I never received any money from these people. So that's what I'm going to do. So it might come back to bite me in the ass. I don't know how long can they audit you for? How back does an audit? 10?
7.
7.
7, I think.
That's
I was
doable.
always told to keep tax files up to 7 years. I don't know how far they can actually go back, but I think 7 is the maximum.
That seems reasonable. That's not unreasonable. But yeah, with the new fleet of IRS agents, maybe they'll be a little more aggressive.
87, 87,000. Well, minus one that got shot on that range a couple months ago. But
no shit. What is that?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
They were training IRS agents on a range, a live range. And
what is a bean counter doing with a gun?
Yeah, well, who knows? But apparently, one of them shot another one, and to me, I don't like to be bad karma.
Was it an ND or was it like a hey motherfucker?
No, it was like a oops.
Oh, negligent discharge. Okay, I got you.
But like one less bean counter. Like to me that's cool, but then that's like bad karma at that point. So
yeah, you don't want to wish ill.
Yeah.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad at that. Because we have, and I don't know if this is a problem across the United States. We've got a problem here now since fucking COVID. When COVID hit and everyone was like essential personnel only, it was one of those only essential people were driving and shit. So it was like a fucking raceway on the interstate, man. People were driving just fast, man. But those driving habits have stayed. Mm-hmm. So we've got motorcycle riders, and I've got no hate towards motorcycle drivers. I really don't. But dude, when you're splitting lanes, when traffic is moving at 60 miles an hour and you're splitting lanes doing 100 plus, yeah, I've got a problem with that.
You're bringing your own karma on you at that point.
Yeah. But then, I start seeing videos online of people that actually, sport, and this is 99% sport bike drivers who have, the GoPro on their helmet, hauling ass through traffic, heavy traffic. And even I'm watching the video going, I got that little sphincter pucker factor going. And these guys are just in and out of traffic and splitting lanes. And I'm just like, man, these guys. And then I'll see one of them just wipe out. And then I feel good about it. I'm like, this fucker's either dead or lying up in a hospital somewhere. And I'm feeling good about it. And I feel bad that I feel good about it.
Yeah. I can't. Like, I see things like that. I'm like, oh, you dumbass. But I can't feel bad about, like good about it. I feel bad about it. Like, you were a dumbass. But guess what? You learned. You learned your lesson.
You're going to learn today.
Stop being a dumbass. But hey, never ever do I wish ill will upon anyone, unless it's never mind. I'm not gonna get it.
I hate that I feel good about it when I see that. And it's only happened to me in person once. I mean, it wasn't with me involved, but there was a non-sport, but it was a wide body. It was a fucking Harley. This dude's like tooling through, traffic was very, very slow. We're doing about 10 or 20 miles an hour. Interstate 20 through the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or through the Fort Worth area is completely under construction from Arlington all the way to Benbrook. And it's probably 15 miles, and it's just slow traffic. So I understand why someone would want to illegally split lanes, and yes, it is illegal in Texas. There used to be the lack of a law. It wasn't legal, but it wasn't illegal. You're not going to get a ticket for it, but if you're splitting lanes and it causes an accident, you're going to get a ticket. It's just kind of one of those things. Well, in September of 2023, it actually is a law. You cannot split lanes. You can ride tandem, you can ride side by side, but you can't, you can't split lanes. You can't go in between cars. One vehicle per lane in that case. Anyway, this guy, we're doing 10 or 20 miles an hour. This guy is wanting to get through it like 25 miles an hour. And it was between just a car in the left lane and then a semi in the right lane. And the car, you never see these guys. You never count on these guys coming. But the guy, you got a lot of wiggle room inside the lane, and he was kind of closing that gap between the semi truck and their vehicle. And this guy, like, he slammed on his front brake. His front end just went completely down, and he almost dumped his bike. And I was like, oh fuck! And then he got a case of the ass, flipped off the fucking semi driver, and then went over into the breakdown lane and passed everybody. And it's just you're just asking for it, dude. You're just asking for it. Don't split lanes. I know it's legal in California. I don't know how they get away with it in California. There's rules if you want to split lanes. And the interstate is not among those rules. In the states where lane splitting is legal, you can do it on side streets. But the interstate is like, it's verboten. You can't do it on the interstate. And you can only pass it 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed of that the traffic is going, not to exceed the speed limit. So it's pretty restrictive. Anyway, I've talked too much about that. How do we get from taxation as theft to lane splitting?
I don't know.
So let's go from taxation as theft to lane splitting to weight loss. Yay! So Radar talked about this before Christmas, talking about, wanting to lose a few pounds, and he was talking about Ozempic. Like, hey, I can just buy some Ozempic, take it for a couple of months, and then drop weight really, really fast. So I'm just like, wow, is that a thing? So I started looking into it. Lots of people are hopping on the easy weight loss train. Ozempic is the big one right now. Wegovy, Mounjaro, Metformin are in the mix too. They have been advertised as weight loss medications. All of the ads that I have seen have a disclaimer attached. If they didn't, everyone promoting them is open for a lawsuit. The entities promoting them look very shady to me. They're Facebook profiles, Instagram profiles, or TikTok profiles that are business accounts, likely protected by an LLC or something. Profiles with named like Found and Henry's Meds or Plush Care. So I looked up using these drugs for weight loss. So I've got 3 fun facts for everybody here. Number 1, their disclaimer is true. If you don't have type 2 diabetes, these prescriptions will be taken for off-brand use. They're approved by the FDA for weight loss, but they are going to be for off-brand use. So it's like you don't go to the doctor with a pain in your arm and he gives you Oxy. That's completely off-brand. Same with this. All of these drugs are for type 2 diabetes, but they can be prescribed by a doctor, but it's for off-brand use. And what that means is that your insurance will not cover it. You're on the hook for the full cost. Fun fact number 2, these are not weight loss medications. They are medications whose side effects include weight loss. Fun fact number 3, if you're taking these meds for weight loss, you will be extremely happy with the results. Once you stop taking these medications, when your desired weight has been reached, and you have not changed your fitness routine and changed your eating habits, the weight will come back with a vengeance. Even if you've made exercise and healthy eating a part of your daily routine, some of the weight will return. So buyer beware. Your weight will absolutely come off, and you're going to feel great and you're going to look great. Just don't throw away your larger sized clothes. Please consult your doctor before trying this for off-brand use. Ask about the potential side effects with your doctor. Don't trust a Facebook post or some hot-looking promoter on TikTok or Instagram. These meds are a shortcut to a super easy weight loss regimen. The alternative is to become a type 2 diabetic and then have the insurance pick up most of the cost, if not all the cost. So I've shared this on every profile that I've come across on Facebook and on Instagram. I don't do TikTok, so. In all cases, my comment has been removed. And in some of the cases, I've caught a 72-hour ban for bullying. So I would bring up these things because they would talk about this, and I would just pose a question like, hey, so what happens if I lose 20, 30 pounds, I'm happy with it, and I stop? And I get a 72-hour ban for bullying, for asking a question. So this tells
good
me
old pharmaceutical companies. Yes. All right.
so this tells me that neither Facebook nor Instagram are even remotely interested in providing honesty in advertising. They're in it for the advertising revenue. Truth be damned.
Have you watched modern cable of late? No?
I don't have cable. I don't have like a TV with scheduled stuff.
Let's say like Weather Channel, CNN, Fox, all that, like all the big like news broadcasting. 90% of their advertisement comes from
weight loss.
No, just pharmaceuticals in general.
You know what? I do watch like Prime, and I've got a Vizio TV, so it comes with its own thing, so it's got its own free programs. There's a lot of pharmaceutical advertisements there. AIDS medications,
a pill for the pill.
There's a pill for every ailment that you've got.
My pill gives me a side effect, so I got to take another pill for it. That's where we're at, right?
It sounds like the freaking VA, doesn't it? Oh, you're taking Oxy, so you're constipated. We're going to give you fucking something to loosen up your stool, and then that kills your fucking sex drive, so we're going to give you the blue pill. And it's just the next thing you know, you're taking 30 pills in the morning, not including all of your multivitamins and stuff that your body's just ravaged of because you're taking so many damn medications.
Be a good consumer.
Oh. But yeah, man, I actually did some looking into it because I was considering it. I'm like, wow, if this is the way it is, I can probably drop some weight and continue with my life. And then I saw some of the side effects. I mean, pancreatitis is a side effect of all of these, dude.
It's a good one.
Bad. It sucks, man. No.
Bleeding of the asshole. Yeah.
Right. Even Phil Leach says weight loss is a scam. Stay fluffy, stay happy.
To just get out, do some exercise, and eat moderately.
I think, and who the hell is her name? Gillian Anderson. She was asked to do like spots, advertisements for these type 2 diabetes drugs to promote weight loss. And she looked at it and said, thank you for the offer of a lot of fucking money, but no, the best way to lose weight is, calories in, calories out. You've got to remain, if you can eat like an asshole, but if you exercise like a beast, it's not going to matter. If you eat like an asshole and sit on the couch all the time, guess what? You're gonna get fat.
When I was in the military, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, I ran my dick off, and to support my habit. I'm not. I ran all the time. You got to support your habit. If you like chicken wings 3 times a week, you better be doing some sit-ups. Just simple as that. Support your habit.
Yeah, do whatever your rank can afford. The same goes for food consumption, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Patrick, you are so right. Cooking your own shit from scratch also does wonders. Stay away from the processed foods. Yes. Avoid sugar, or don't add sugar to the stuff that you're eating. Like if you drink coffee, drink black. I don't know if is that racist.
Sugar is not bad.
Sugar's not.
It's that high fructose corn syrup that's in everything. That's the devil.
Or
gotta stay away from that.
Processed food is really bad because it tastes really, really good. I love processed food, but you can't rely on it, man, because it's gonna do you dirty. It'll do you dirty.
Chicken wings and steak the rest of my life, and I'll be the happiest man on the planet, and probably be the healthiest man on the planet because, chicken wings and steak, can't get wrong with that.
Yeah, Sid, no shit. Don't mess with my creamy coffee. I love. I got rid of. I stopped adding sugar to my coffee, but what I did find is, and you can get it at Walmart. It's just sweet cream. It's cream, but it's a sweet cream. So you add a little bit of sugar, and it's good.
Stay away from those like creamer mate things. The pre-made
coffee mate. The coffee mate.
Yes, you look at the first ingredient is vegetable oil. It's not even real milk. It's just vegetable oil. That's not good for you. Sorry.
Ooh. See,
pour some real milk in your shit, and you'll be all right. Huh?
So after I watch Meat Cannon, I'm going to go into my refrigerator and see what the ingredients say on my fucking creamer.
It'll say like hydrogenized. I can't even pronounce it. You know what I'm saying? And or sunflower oil or some crazy shit like that. There is no milk in that shit. There's no dairy in that shit. No? And if there is, it's like way down in the ingredient list. So yeah, that shit's don't even fuck with that.
Yeah. So I mean, just
heavy whipping cream. Mix your shit up. You're good, man. A little butter and coffee. Everyone was talking about that like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Butter in your
That
coffee.
was a keto thing, and I actually saw a video.
Yes.
Jay Reddy posted a video of him putting butter in his coffee, and I'm like, oh.
It's the same thing, man. Like it's just fat.
And you need the fat. I mean, if you're doing the keto thing, you do need fat.
Well, everyone needs fat.
Yeah. Anyway, let's do one more. And this is kind of a PSA because I know how veterans are, and a lot of veterans have like maybe a disability rating for sleep apnea. So check this out. Sleep apnea, lots of us have it, and many of us use a CPAP to reduce the risks associated with having sleep apnea. So there's a recall out there for the Philips CPAP machine. The FDA says 561 deaths have been reported in connection to a recalled Philips device that treats obstructive sleep apnea and other breathing disorders. Since April of 2021, it has received more than 116,000 medical device reports of foam breaking down in the Philips CPAP. The Dutch medical device maker has recalled millions of the breathing machines amid reports that they were blowing gas and pieces of foam into the airways of those using the devices. Philips says that it will stop selling the device. What I really wanted to see is Philips has stopped selling the device, but they will stop selling the device. A class action lawsuit was settled, and the tentative agreement calls for the company to keep servicing these sleep apnea machines that are already being used while stopping to sell the new ones until specific conditions are met. So if you guys are using a Philips sleep apnea machine that will get prescribed to you by the VA, fucking stop. Philips has, in late 2023, Philips has agreed to pay at least $479 million to compensate users of 20 different products sold in the United States between 2008 and 2021. Claims for financial losses related to the purchase, lease, or rent of the recalled machines can now be lodged in the wake of proposed class action settlement. So here is the website. To determine whether one is eligible or not, and for instructions on what steps to take, if any, to receive payment, the settlement administrator has set up an interactive website at this address here on the bottom of the screen. And I'm going to show the address here in a second. How do I do this? Capture screen. Look at that. There it is. So here it is. Philips Respironics recalled CPAP, bi-level PAP, and mechanical ventilator products litigation. It's got the case number. It's got every detail that you would need to file a claim and get compensated for the machine that you're either renting or paying money for or have paid money for. And there's all kinds of really, really good information on here. You might get $100 or a couple $100. I don't use a CPAP machine, so I have no idea how much these things cost or what rent is on these things. But important dates to remember. Check that out. I'll give this other thing. Important dates to remember. September of 2023 is the motion for preliminary approval. October was preliminary approval granted. December 11th of last year, claim filing period opens. February 7th, which is this week, the exclusion deadline happens, and the objection deadline happens. April 11th, the final approval hearing happens, and August 9th, the claims period concludes. So you gotta get on your shit, man. You got to get on your shit. If you want to get compensated for any losses that you may have incurred or will incur, you've got a limited amount of time to file a claim, and then you can go to that website there. I'm not going to read it off. It's just stupid. But if you don't have the means or whatever to copy that address down, don't worry about it. Just send me a message, KOZ-WTF Nation Radio here on Facebook, or send it to the radio page. We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up with the website and everything. So, I don't know. Have you ever used a CPAP? I've never used one.
Nope.
I've heard about Sin says I've heard about a shoulder implant to prevent sleep apnea. I know that I snore, but it's when if I lay on my back, I'll snore. And I've heard one of the fixes for that is to sew a tennis ball to the back of your shorts or your shirt, and that'll keep you from sleeping on your back, because it makes your body uncomfortable, and even if you're sleeping, you'll roll over at least on your side. I've never used a CPAP machine. It kind of seems like it's like a positive pressure thing. It kind of forces air into your nose. Gary says his wife punches him. Yeah, when I was married, I got beaten by pillows and kicked and stuff. A regular fan works just as well. Like if it's pointed at you, or like a ceiling fan. I have no idea. But anyway, for any of you out there who are listening that do use the CPAP, make sure you're using a good one. And if you're using the Philips brand, check into the recall information and maybe gets paid some Dara, and then replace it with a more reliable version. Oh, a fan pointed at you. Okay. Good to know. Hey, man, we're kind of like a little bit past break time. I'm sure your bladder's about to burst.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about things and stuff. We're gonna be talking about some retaliatory strikes on the Hootie and the Blowfish or something like that. All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, that's what we're gonna talk about. Shots, y'all.
This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog? What's going on, everybody? We are back for part 2 of Friday Night Freedom. My name is KOZ. Up there in the bubble of awesomeness is Pooky. Awesome stuff, man. Thanks for hanging out. So Sin said, and this is crazy, the Inspire implant is the only FDA approved OSA therapy, obstructive something probably, therapy that works comfortably inside your body to treat the root causes of sleep apnea so you can breathe regularly and sleep soundly. That's freaking awesome. Who came up with that? That's great. I mean, I've heard that, sleep apnea fucking kills people because it's like you literally stop breathing, and your breathing is very not there. It's not that you stop. It's that you stop breathing, but I mean, you're like gasping for air and shit at night. So anyway, that's awesome. I think science is awesome. People that come up with this shit are just geniuses, and it's cool. People that paid attention in fucking science class came up with this shit. Yeah, we got shit. Cyber attacks from China that are on the horizon in the near future with no ETA. With all of the, I don't know, dude, with all the malware and crap out there that they just, I don't know what are they targeting? Infrastructure, like government stuff or people?
Whatever makes the most money.
How would a cyber attack, let's just say you do a cyber attack on pull something out of your hat, the train system. How does that make anybody money?
I lock the train system down, say Japan. They've got the most efficient train system in the world. So I lock it down for 30 minutes and say, hey, pay me $1 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And, it kind of forces them to be like, hey, we're losing millions of dollars a minute. So pay me $2 million. All right. That's how those ransomware attacks work. You hit U.S. infrastructure, like a lot of U.S. infrastructure is shit. And I'll say that.
Dude,
but you hit like
you've got PLCs out there with a master password of like the word password or 1 2 3 4 5
0. Like our nuclear. I won't say that. I've heard it. But our nuclear armament was 0000 for the launch code. So I mean, because the Air Force didn't want keys on their shit.
Yeah, because you never know when someone's going to, get another job or get transferred or PCS'd or whatever. I get it. No,
exactly,
I get it.
Exactly.
You got to make it hard. Make it hard for us. It's going to be hard for our adversaries. Speaking of adversaries, another attack, man. And this, I've been out of the loop. The attack happened. The drone attack in Syria happened right before our last show, like a day or two before our last show. I didn't mention it.
A week ago.
So 3 U.S. service members were killed and at least 40 others were injured in a drone attack on an outpost in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border. U.S. Central Command confirmed that some of the injured have been medically evacuated to a base, likely Landstuhl, in Germany. The attack came at a U.S. installation known as Tower 22, which has been the base for U.S. helicopters in the past. Tower 22 sits at the farthest northeastern corner of Jordan, just a few hundred yards from the Syrian border and minutes from the border with Iraq. The Associated Press reported that air defense troops on the base may have mistaken the incoming drone for a friendly aircraft. I don't know how that's possible, because transponder codes and stuff. But those can get manipulated. The 3 American soldiers killed in the drone attack were Army reservists from a Georgia-based engineer unit. Their names were Sergeant William Rivers, Specialist Kennedy Landon Sanders, and Specialist Brianna Alexandria Moffett. President Biden said, quote, "Have no doubt we will hold all those responsible to account at a time and in a manner of our choosing." And I immediately said, what the fuck? Because from the time of the attack to President Biden's statement, I think 4 or 5 days had already passed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And this is my opinion. Our response should be so massive that the world feels it. No sanctions or strongly worded memos at all. There have been over 160 attacks on U.S. troops since October. President Biden has done nothing. Our response should be so massive that the attackers' unborn grandchildren wouldn't even think about fucking with the United States. Anything short of that is a waste of time and effort, and a massive show of disrespect for our service members and their sacrifices. Our adversaries are attacking us because they know that our leadership is weak. This, quote, time and manner of our choosing bullshit is ridiculous. The question is, who do we retaliate against? The drone attack on Station 22 is attributed to the Iran-backed umbrella group called Islamic Resistance in Iraq. The Iranians have provided intelligence, support, and weaponry to the Houthis, not to be confused with Houthi like Darius Rucker, in recent months, including the monitoring systems that allow the group to operate in the maritime space and help facilitate their attacks on the Red Sea. Not related to U.S. SEALs, Navy Warfare Operator First Class Christopher J. Chambers and Navy Special Warfare Operator Second Class Nathan Gage Ingram died in early January after falling overboard while trying to interdict a vessel in Somalia. According to intelligence officials who request to remain anonymous, the drone strikes in Syria caught Tehran by surprise, and they were worried about possible repercussions. Well, fuck. They should be. So should all the proxies living in mud huts. So today, oh God.
No, that's just glass the whole. Oh, you fucked with me. Oh, guess what? I got a skating rink now, motherfucker.
So as of 4 p.m. today, Eastern Time, the United States has begun airstrikes. I guess we'll see how effective this is. So, right before the show, I saw a report. It could have been CNN, could have been United or
AP.
AP says that there has been 125 strikes on 80 individual targets in the region. So that's Iraq. That's probably Syria.
Not the origin.
But fucking B-1s, dude. They got B-1s there. That's serious shit right there. Where do they fly from?
Who knows?
Who knows? That's a long-range bomber. You can fly that from fucking St. Louis all the way into theater, drop a bomb, and then turn around and go home. I don't want proportional.
Baconator said proportional.
I don't want
extra proportional.
Dude, I'm not even looking for proportional. I'm looking for massive.
God. I will glass. This is why I can never be president, because if some shit like that happened, your whole country just turned into a parking, like a garage. Like that's all it's good for now. Parking cars.
Parking cars, but you're not going to be able to be there for about 25 years.
Yes. Because, fuck you. You fuck with my people, I'm fucking back. So 1,000 times.
what pisses me off, and it doesn't piss me off. It's very frustrating because I understand the politics of retaliation and things. What makes me upset is the length of time that it took from 3 soldiers to die from a drone strike.
Should have took less than 24 hours.
To 4 days before a statement was even given.
There should have not been a statement. It should have been less than 24 hours. And I'm dropping my big sacky balls on your country.
I'm gonna fucking.
That's it.
Fucking teabag Tehran.
Teabagged your ass to back to the Middle Ages. I don't give a shit. Fuck with my people.
And this is a good reason why we're not in the executive branch.
Probably not. No.
Or even an advisor. Imagine. I mean, how I wonder in the Situation Room how testy you have all your advisors, your military advisors saying, "We know where they're at. Let's go get them." And the executive branch is going, "Hold on a minute. Let's take the pulse of the country and do fucking focus groups and figure out if these responses are going to sit okay with the public." Fuck the public.
Make sure our defense secretary is where he's supposed to be.
I think he was in the hospital. I mean, seriously, dude. I think Austin was
disappeared
still
for like 3 or 4 days, and no one knew where the fuck he was. But hey, where's the defense secretary?
He's in room 23B. Look at this.
Oh God,
Yeah.
this administration is chump change.
So I hope we're not bombing fucking empty tents in the middle of the desert. What I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from the reports is, there were, B1s flying over. They're precision bombs. They're hitting things and they're secondary explosions. People are dying. Things are being destroyed. So there's things there. I hope that this does.
We bombed
stuff.
our herd of camels just to retaliate. Huh?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what their target list is.
Should have just dropped it on the capital of Iran. Just been like, keep fucking around. Boom.
It's funny because we're not dropping bombs inside of Iran.
Yeah. Pakistan had some balls.
What did they do? They did something that was pretty. Did they do something that was pretty cool? Was that them?
Iran reached out and touched Pakistan, and Pakistan reached back and touched Iran, and they were like, "Hey, we need to chill out here."
That's right.
They shook hands and like that. We might have fucked up, both of us. All right, cool. No, Iran fucked up. Pakistan had every right to do what they were doing.
This is either slowly or rapidly becoming a war of the proxies. It's not the United States. It's not the United States against Iran. It's these fucking people in mud huts in Iraq and in Syria that are doing the bidding of Tehran, and then it's us kind of defending ourselves against the mud hut aggressors, but we're not really going against the monster, which is Iran.
It's the people who are funding it. Like I said, if we really meant business, we would be like, "Oh, you struck a Iranian-backed terrorist, cool, boom." Their capital, wherever that, or the Ayatollah or whoever's name is sitting, just poof, vaporized, problem solved.
Or it's like, hey, the next time that these little, spin-offs attack our ships in the Red Sea or whatever, I'm putting a fucking cruise missile in your fucking palace in fucking Tehran.
Exactly.
And then you got to follow through. Let the United Nations know this is what I'm going to fucking do. And I think if we had different leadership in the White House.
Napalm sticks to kids. Shush. Don't talk about that there, Baconator.
Unfertility gas.
No, I ain't about that. I'm about like this precision, like pow.
I mean, take them out. We have the technology to do it. You don't even have to send a fucking. I mean, cruise missiles have what, 1,000-mile standoff range? Come on.
16, I think.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't say
that. No, he didn't. Ish. 1,000-mile ish. Space snipers, dude. The fucking rods of God. I saw a fucking video. It was a not CGI. It was a cartoon. This is what's in the plan, high altitude fucking planes just dropping rods of God, which are just nothing, tungsten fucking steel tubes that go down and just lay waste to everything. Just the kinetic energy, the fucking kinetic energy. I mean, the missile that took out Soleimani had no explososes in it. It was
just fucking katanas on that motherfucker.
There was what do they call it? Not the guillotine. They call it the something.
I don't know, but it had like little razor blades that just snap out at the last second. It's like, oh, I'm done.
I'm like, dude, within a square inch, we're gonna hit the target, and anything that's
like Kill Bill kind of shit. Like, I'm minding my own business. All of a sudden, I look up. All of a sudden, the missile's like, ha!
I mean,
shot
dude, we've got the technology. Let's fucking use it. I mean, to hell with. I mean, Iranian people are probably awesome. They just have really shitty leadership.
Why are we trying to be nice? Like, do we have to be nice all the time? Can we just be like, fuck you one time?
When did we stop fucking taking care of business.
I don't know. Like, everyone's like all up in arms about offending people nowadays. It's like, fuck it. They're like, you bombed our troops, we bomb you back. We bomb you with some scary shit that you're just like, we got about 20 years to figure out how to do that.
I was gonna say, we bomb you with some shit that you're like, oh, that's badass.
Yes. Holy shit! How do you figure that out? And they'll spend the next 20 years of their budget trying to figure out how we did it. Huh? And by the time they figure it out, we got like fucking teleportation devices. You know, like just stop.
Teleport
stop
there.
Being nice.
Teleport there, fucking double tap the target, and teleport back home.
Yes. Bring him into the killing field, shoot him, and teleport him back. Problem solved.
Dude, we could write a movie. That would be so awesome. Let's team up with CQ and Pop Culture Warrior, and we could just write a movie and crowdfund the shit out of that and just make something completely...
I've got about like 20 of these little stupid books that I keep about... I've got like probably about 20 scripts of crazy sci-fi movies. That would be awesome.
We have the technology.
But we have the will to execute said technology.
So yeah, and that's the thing, is to have the technology, but then have the will to use it.
I just don't know who this current administration is, bumping elbows with, and it kind of confuses me because even like Bush or Obama, if this shit would have happened,
dude, Obama he fucking droned like civilians and wedding parties and stuff. So
yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on with our current administration. Trump would have probably dropped the tac nuke. Crazy as that motherfucker is. Obama would have retaliated. Bush would have retaliated.
President Trump did the Moab. He actually utilized the Moab in Afghanistan.
But this administration took a week of silence. Didn't even admit shit for at least 4 days, and they said we're going to retaliate with proportionate blah blah.
I'm not saying that they weren't thinking about it, but a statement needed to be made, and it didn't have to take 4 days. It didn't have to take 4 fucking days.
Talking about the guy who was staring at his watch while a bunch of we pulled out of Afghanistan, and 13 of our fellow brothers and sisters came back in coffins, and this dude's watched his watch because his time's more important.
It's fucking ice cream time, man. Ice cream's getting fucking old. Chocolate chip ice cream.
Can't do it.
All right, here's another story. This is pretty cool. This isn't cool. This isn't cool, but it's pretty cool. But it's cool, but it's not. I get it. I understand, but it's bad. Don't do this. If you work in daycare, just fucking don't do this. What's the first rule of Fight Club, Pookie?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
You don't talk about Fight Club. 2 rogue daycare workers turned themselves in for allegedly running an illegal child fighting ring inside of their nursery. Erica Jones, age 27, and Serena Caldwell, 56. First of all, I don't understand.
I'm done.
One of these is Serena, and the other one is Erica. That looks like Bob and maybe Serena, or Erica and Charles.
No, one don't got the wig on. All right.
Warrants were issued, and then they turned themselves in. Wow.
A fight. Oh my
God. Jones and Caldwell allegedly directed children in their care, aged 3 and 4, to fight each other, and allowed the violence to proceed without correction. The 2 daycare workers have been charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor and unlawful conduct to a child.
So, like, hood taekwondo class going on in daycare. Dude, I'm sorry, but, watching kids fight sometimes is epic. They do some crazy shit when they're fighting each other.
This is one of those things where it's like, I'm not happy that I saw this, but I'm elated that this happens, and it's bad. I know it's bad. I do know it's bad, and I would never do it. but I'm glad that it happened. But I'm sad that it happened. So many mixed feelings here.
Me and my grandfather on my dad's side of the family, like me and my cousin would get into it. We start to, like getting into like, agitated kid kind of things. He's like, go outside, duke it out. And we would start boxing each other in the middle of the woods. But that was, like two young gentlemen trying to figure their way out in life. But I don't know about daycare with that.
I mean, dude, 3 and 4 year olds. Holy shit. So, John David Dawkins, who owns this particular daycare, said that the pair's employment was immediately terminated after he was advised to review security footage. Foster said that none of the children involved, 14 in total, had suffered major physical injuries while participating in the violent ring, the fight ring. What's crazy is this isn't an isolated incident. This is probably happening all over the place. In researching this story, there is documented cases that have occurred not only in South Carolina, but New York, Delaware, St. Louis, Chicago, Milwaukee, Dallas, Los Angeles, just to name a few. These are just the folks that got caught.
I'm looking at that picture you got right now, and that one kid has the side mount down on Pat. I'm watching. He's like in complete control. I don't know. Maybe these, I don't know. Some of these kids are soft, man. Maybe they need to learn to fight each other.
So, and these are. I wrote all this down. I'm not vamping anything. So check this out. This is pretty bad, and it shows horrible decision-making abilities. But what if they were onto something? Dude, I fucking typed this up last night. So
okay. I'm like, go for it.
So here we go. Here we go. Here's a new school to send your kids to. Parents sign waivers. Kids choose to take part. Everyone wears proper protection. Do the daycare stuff. Teach kids. Do the math. Do the science. Do the things. Even if it's Montessori, teach the math and all that other cool stuff. But train the kids in conflict resolution and self-defense. There are some soft-ass kids running around nowadays. This seems like we're missing an opportunity here to teach our kids things. I get where these folks are coming from.
This is after school taekwondo. I mean, like I've sat through, like my ex-girlfriend's son was in taekwondo, and I watched these kids beat the piss out of each other, and I was like, all right, cool. This is taekwondo, so all right.
Patrick, what is the DOD daycare incident? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that was. No idea. Info, please.
No idea, but that picture you got there, that one kid on top, he's got the full-blown side guard, and he's bringing elbow down. Okay. And apparently they're teaching him proper ground.
I mean, the kid looks like they've got technique. The kids have technique, and I see that left picture of that teacher just going woo, like yeah, my guy won.
I got like $2 on it. Yay!
Fucking Sarah's buying coffee for everyone this week. Yay. And that bitch is bringing donuts.
I don't see. I'm like torn on this whole story because like you could like set like after school programs they have like taekwondo, aikido, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You can drop your kid off that at after school and that's acceptable. So why not during school?
I mean, combine the education and do it during school.
Yes. Why not? No?
Sarah, you've got an issue with James. Guess what? Let's get into our little mini octagon.
Yeah.
Do it. Make sure there's rules. Make sure no one gets fucking destroyed. I mean, no 4-year-old needs a rotator cuff injury.
Protection equipment, throw the gloves on, just throw it down, We used to play dodgeball as kids. Remember dodgeball?
That was awesome, dude. That red ball of doom hitting you in the face.
You always had that one kid who could just whip it so hard, and if it smacked you in their face, you're like crooked-eyed for like 2 days. Like,
and you have like a shoe print in your face.
yes.
And then the girls liked it because you can talk about it. Yeah, there I was.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like I'm torn on this, like 50-50. Like if they're like betting kids against like the proverbial cockfight, then no. I don't.
We're gonna have Jaquan's gonna fight this guy or this girl or whatever. Whatever.
They're taking numbers and shit. Nah. I'm not cool with that. But if they're teaching kids self-defense, how to fight each other, like you gotta learn how to like throw hands. Just basic human knowledge at that point.
And you got to learn how to protect yourself. You can't you can't do conflict resolution. You can't conflict resolution your ass out of a fight. Later on in life, you're in a fucking bar and someone wants to fight. Guess what? You're either going to get your ass beat or there's going to be a fight. It happens. It happens. Take care of yourself. You got to know how to take care of yourself. You got to know how to take care of yourself.
Taekwondo for like I see like people put their like 5-year-olds in Taekwondo and they're like beating the shit at each other and that's acceptable, but no.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is good. It's really good physical fitness, and you get to learn how to protect yourself. You just have to do it from your back usually. But then
Taekwondo is
learn how to strike. Learn how to strike.
Strike.
Heath is here. Mississippi in the house.
Aikido is kind of just like learning how to fall on your ass and not hurt yourself.
That's like a gymnastics. It's like stressful gymnastics.
I don't know. Hey, if they were doing like a betting ring, they're wrong. But if they were kids just how to fight,
I don't think that they were teaching the kids. I think they were just like, well, fuck it, just duke it out, just do it, just take care of business. I don't think they were teaching them anything, but maybe they were. I don't know.
My grandfather used to be like, me and my cousin Terry all the time would get into it all the time. And my grandfather would be like, get out the house and go out back and take care of that shit. We would just come in bloody to hell and back and be like, all right, problem solved.
Sin, that's a Krav Maga. Krav Maga is the Israeli.
I don't know. I'm down with that.
Kids need to take care of themselves.
Basic unarmed combat. What UAC or whatever it is. Just teach them the basics.
All right, let's take the off ramp of the show. I got a couple more stories. This one's kind of okay. It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. I don't think. I don't have any notes. Here we go. TikTok, for those of you who TikTok has removed music by stars including Taylor Swift, Drake, The Weeknd, and Olivia Rodrigo from videos after a row in their record label, Universal Music Group (UMG). A licensing agreement between TikTok and the label expired on Wednesday, and a new deal could not be reached. UMG says that TikTok wanted to pay a fraction of the rate that other social media sites do for access to the songs.
And they have every right to do that.
They do. TikTok accused UMG of presenting a false narrative and rhetoric and provided absolutely no more information. All videos which have UMG music on them will be muted, and the new videos will not be able to be made with those tracks. So if you're an aspiring artist, the best thing that you can do
is get on TikTok.
Is well, okay. Taylor Swift did it well. She did her thing the right way, but then Big Machine Records sold all of her stuff to other entities. So when you're breaking out in the music industry, you're looking for a paycheck. The only way that musicians really make money is when they tour. You can write the best fucking album or the best song that everyone loves in the world, and you can sell 1 million albums. But the label is going to get that money. A lot of musicians, 99% of them, sign contracts with agency or with studios to cover the cost of recording their album and then their next album. And then they're kind of like, slaves to the industry. They're playing catch up. They sell a gajillion albums and they make a lot of money, but the label actually gets compensated for studio time and whatnot. So they tour and they make money while they tour, and that's their money. But all of of course, the studios get the cut. So yeah, this is kind of like, the pimp coming.
Universal just shot themselves in the dick with that. And
I think the pimp is coming back for their money, and I think they should have been happy.
Most of the coolest songs, independent songs that I've heard lately, come from TikTok. And I'm not hearing Taylor Swift. I'm not hearing The Weeknd. I'm not hearing any of these people on there. So, are they shooting themselves in the dick? Universal?
I don't know.
Probably overstepped their bounds with this.
I really don't know. And what I'm seeing is like, maybe I'm an old guy, so I see the on Instagram, I'll see the TikTok videos that were hot like a month ago, and they end up being on Instagram. So I'm like, okay, these are cool, or these suck. And there are popular artists on there. How does the label get paid? They get paid by TikTok? TikTok pays?
I don't know how that works. I just see a lot of independent guys come out of nowhere with like a new song. Like, what was that kid Men North of Richmond song that came out a while back? That was a TikTok kind of. And there's a bunch of just random like hits coming out of TikTok. And like I said, I've never heard Taylor Swift's music on TikTok. And so them pulling that shit is just kind of like, okay, cool. You screwed a bunch of content creators up that just happen to have that music in the background.
So when you make a TikTok video, is there like do you want a music bed? And you click yes, and then they give you a choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can pick it, but like say someone's got like 3 million views on a video, and now that video, you can't hear nothing on it because Universal said, hey, you got to pay me my money. I honestly don't understand. Like, the music industry makes no sense to me.
Well,
absolutely.
I kind of look at them as pimps.
Oh, that's what it is, pretty much. It's like, hey, you're gonna pay me my percentage, blah blah blah. The only way you're gonna make money is if you tour, and
or it's like, hey, I'm gonna pay for you to make an album, but your revenues are gonna come to me first, and then you second.
Get like 10%.
Yeah,
maybe. You get $100,000 off something that made $100 million. Yeah, no, I don't understand that shit. No? Universal's Roadrunner. I don't even know if Roadrunner's still around, but Roadrunner was like the worst.
They had signed Metallica.
Metallica.
And they stole so much money. They stole so much money from them.
I think they had like Typo Negative. They had a whole
gosh.
They had a
Motley
whole
Crue. Motley Crue was a Roadrunner.
Yes, like Roadrunner was notorious for screwing people over. And I think
but it's like here we're going to front you the money, but then the revenues that you
you got to make 12 albums.
Yes,
but you only get $10,000 off each one. I'm like, all right, well, it takes me 6 months. My whole band 6 months to make. Oh, okay, well, all right.
but then you have bands out there that they get signed, and then you have someone like and I'm not saying that they're involved in this, but like Boston. The first Boston album was awesome. It's from front to back is the best album ever. But then they get signed, and then all the other ones are like, okay, you've got to make a couple of albums.
That's what happened with Typo Negative.
You've got to make a couple of albums to satisfy your contract. So they'd like shit a couple of albums to satisfy their contract, and they're garbage.
Typo Negative switched their shit up. Like they went
They
from
did.
like
They were so good.
They grunge. That like it was like the grunge like power metal shit, and then it went into that goth metal shit. And I think that's what Roadrunner fucked them up because they're like, hey, you gotta produce more albums like this. Because they did like what was it, Christian Woman or Black Number One was the album, and they're like, this is really good. This is selling. Make more of this, and then they got stuck on that, no? And
Musa says, I mean, it costs money to make an album. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. So what happens is the labels will say, we'll give you $500,000 if you sign this contract. But the contract says that you have to make, within the next 5 years, you have to make 5 albums.
5, 6 albums, 8 albums, 10 albums. I think Typo Negative got like an 8-album deal, and it was just like ridiculous at that point. No?
So they get the money, and then they collect some revenue, like 10% or less from their albums. But they get the $500,000 divided by however many band members that is, and that's what you get. So they're forced to tour, which if you play music you love to play, so you're gonna play, and then you earn that revenue. But they don't own their music. The label owns their music. UMG owns the music.
Mm-hmm.
So if I play something Taylor Swift-ish, I'm going to get a ban from UMG saying, hey, you played our music. But actually, Taylor owns her own music now, which is cool. She bought
it back?
Right. She bought it back.
That's good.
Actually, she didn't buy it back. She doesn't own her old music, but she re-released her old music, and she owns her new releases of her old music.
She did George Lucas.
Yes. Yeah.
I got you.
Holly, I'm glad you mentioned Jelly Roll. If you guys have not heard Jelly Roll, the dude is awesome. The dude is fucking awesome. The first time I heard of him, it was from Strange Music, Tech Nine, where he
First time I heard of Jelly Roll was recently on the it was a Senate hearing, and he was talking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, holy shit, who the hell is this? And I started looking to it. It's like, damn, this dude is legit, dude.
He's fucking solid. He's really, really solid. And his lyrics are on point. But it was like he did some kind of, he wrote something with Strange Music, and Tech Nine rapped over it, and a couple other guys rapped over it. And it was cool. The video was awesome. And I really think it has a lot to do with PTSD, and there's a monster on my bed, and all this other shit, and it's just fucking awesome. He's very, very good. I hope that he has a good deal. Holly says his deal is the best that he's ever seen an artist get, and I think that's due to his street smarts. He's not going to allow himself to get fucked. The dude's been in prison, so. So, last story. I got to talk about this because it has to deal with whiskey. And this is Metallica. I had no idea that they were in this because I thought a lot of these guys were in recovery. Metallica's lead guitarist Kirk Hammett and bassist Robert Trujillo are set to make a special appearance at Costco in Livermore, California, to autograph bottles of their renowned whiskey brand called Blackened. Blackened whiskey, inspired by Metallica's 1988 hit by the same name, boasts an innovative approach to its creation. This whiskey undergoes a unique sonic enhancement process during production. Of course it's patented, the method, is they play low-frequency sound waves that swiftly reverberate through the whiskey barrels, interacting with the oak staves in the barrel to enhance the flavor profile. I have no idea if this really happens, but Metallica's putting out whiskey. So I'm going to be on the lookout for this. I'm going to buy probably 2 bottles, one to drink and one to save.
Maynard's making a wine now. I mean,
who's making a wine?
Maynard from Tool.
Tool?
Yeah, I think he has like a whole vineyard now. So
he's a veteran. He's a veteran.
McGregor's got Proper 12, Proper 12. So yeah, Blackened. Listen, I'll see it if I see it on the shelves in my local store. I'll give it a try.
I'm gonna go look in Specs. I don't go to Specs a lot. If I go there, I go there to buy like sausage or. Oh, Specs is awesome.
Being in Texas, and I walked into the Specs, I was like, "Oh, this is great." I walked every aisle just looking for something,
dude. When you walk in Texas, we have like what's that store called? Like Wine and More or something like that. And you're like,
Wine Co. or whatever it is.
This is kind of cool. And then you walk into a Specs, and it's like a warehouse with nothing but fucking wine and liquor and party supplies and shit. It's awesome.
So I just walked every aisle, and I like even walked up to it's like, "Hey, do you have mead in here?" And they're like, "Yeah, maybe over on this aisle." It's like, "All right, well, I'll get over that aisle."
And there was like a whole fucking quarter aisle of mead.
It's like walking up and down like a Costco kind of like you don't need to walk up every aisle of Costco,
but you do.
But you do.
There's so much cool shit there.
The Specs of Waco is awesome. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's where I found that tequila that tastes really, really good. I'm gonna bust that out during Cinco de Mayo this year. That was good. That's good stuff, man. That's so good.
I don't really like that.
But it's not. It doesn't taste. It doesn't taste like tequila. It tastes like whiskey. It's so smooth. It's so good.
I mean, technically everything is whiskey, but
well, right. All right. So before we sign off, I just want to let you know that if you want a link to that the CPAP stuff, here it is right here. But if you don't have time to copy it down, send us a message here at the radio page. Send it to me, KOZ-WTF Nation Radio, here on Facebook, and I'll send it to you.
Don't send it to me because I'll never get around to it.
Yeah, you never check your messages. Never ever. So here's our lineup. We got the sports bar coming up on Sunday. Monday's off. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior. Smoke Pit's not going to be back this week. I think they're going to come back next week. Not this coming Tuesday. Not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. Sergeant's Time is off this week, and here's me. I'm KOZ, and I'm not doing a show this Friday, but we do a show every other Friday. Total Wine, that's the place. Total Wine is the place.
I got one down the road for me. It's great, but it's nowhere near Specs level.
No, Specs is such like a big warehouse. They've got they buy like warehouses and they use like 2/3 of it. They have so much room for other stuff. So maybe when like marijuana becomes recreationally legal, maybe they might have a pot section. Who knows? I have no idea.
Their humidor is awesome, though. That's all I gotta say.
Do you like the cigars and stuff?
Oh, I love cigars.
I've never smoked a cigar in my life.
What?
I've never smoked a cigar. And as I used to smoke, I've never smoked a cigar in my life.
If we ever hang out, I'm gonna find a good cigar for you and just let you smoke it.
Okay. But yes, you're right about Specs. Specs is awesome. They're awesome. I wish that they would sell Miller Lite 16-ounce bottles in 24 packs. Or the 16-ounce cans. I used to get these at Walmart.
Those aluminum 16-ounce Coors cans. It's shit, man. Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so we're out here, man. Thank you all for hanging out. So how do we do this? Oh, that's Pooky. He's kind of scary looking up close. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Oops, that's not it. That's it. All right. Thank you all for being here. My name is KOZ. That's Pooky. We're going to be back in 2 weeks, but we've got shows this week. Look out for Sunday and Tuesday with Pop Culture Warrior. So Sunday is Sports Bar, and Tuesday is CQ, and whomever is in his co-gunners or his gunner seat. Anyway, we're going to be out of here. You've already seen our lineup, And it's time for us to go. Thank you all for being here. We love you very much. Take care of yourself. And if you got a CPAP machine, check out who makes it. If it's Philips, and you are in line for some Dara. So hit us up if you don't have the website, and we'll see you next time. Love you all. Bye.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon spur, singing out, yeah, through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Let's see it.